So today we're out here at the Hoss Sustainable Living Center working in our demonstration garden. This garden is a part of our little area here at the Sunbelt Expo, which is a show we have here in South Georgia every year. It's a big agricultural show, and we put on this little demonstration garden and have exhibits. It's a way to show people how they can grow their own food, the different varieties they can grow, and the different techniques they can use to grow their food. So this morning I want to show you how we can take the Hoss Wheel Hoe and the Hoss garden seeder, and we can make these beautiful, really productive, elevated greens beds like you see here. Now these greens beds here were planted about 2 weeks ago. These three here, we have 3 different varieties, and then today we're going to plant 3 more beds. That way we can kind of show the progression of the growth and show the different stages of succession. So the market farmer standard for these types of greens beds is usually 30 inches. We put these, we made 2-foot beds here just for demonstration purposes. It worked out better for the spacing of our plot. So you can certainly grow these closer together and grow these beds wider depending on what you're going to be using to harvest them or how you're going to harvest them. But for our purposes here, the 2-foot beds work good visually and for us to be able to get in there and work the beds. So we're going to use the wheel hoe here with 1 plow blade to make our elevated beds to plant these greens on. Now these beds, like I said, are going to be 2 foot wide, but you could easily make them 30 inches wide or even 3 foot wide. So we have our double wheel hoe here. You could easily do this with a single wheel hoe as well. And we have 1 plow blade on here. This is the right plow blade, so it's going to be throwing dirt to the right. So we'll mark off where our beds are going to be, and we'll throw dirt to the middle. Then we'll rake that smooth and add some compost. Our beds laid off and we got them shaped, we got them composted. Now it's time to plant them. We got our seeder here. We took our number 1 plate and we drilled out every other hole. So we have 16 holes in here, which gives us just a hair over 1 inch spacing, which would be good and tight for these beds. We want to plant them really intensively. We did drill out the hole size just a hair. Some of these green mixes can vary a little bit in the size of seed in them, just to be safe, we drilled out the holes a little bit. We'll plant thick and it'll look really nice. We've got 3 varieties we're planting today. We're planting the Elegance mix, the Ovation mix, and then the Premium Greens mix from Johnny's. And all these are really nice greens mixes. We've planted some of them before and we really like them. So on my seeder here, I have the kickstand here tied up so I can plant wheel to wheel. So what we'll do is we'll start on the side of one of these beds. We'll walk to the side of the seeder and we'll plant 1 line, and the wheel will kind of let us know where we've been, and then we'll go right beside that and plant right beside that next wheel path. With these beds here, these 2-foot beds, usually anywhere from 6 to 8 passes will cover the bed. We're not worried about getting too much seed on them. We're just going to make sure we cover them and get them planted good. All right, so we got those 3 beds planted. You saw that was pretty quick and easy. It doesn't take long to build the beds, and with a garden cedar, it doesn't take very long to plant them either. We set the depth on the garden cedar at about 1/4 inch deep, and then because it is made out of steel and it's got good weight to it, those rear wheels do a really good job of compacting and pressing that seed down in the seed bed, so we get really good seed to soil contact, which means really good germination. One thing that's important once planting these types of greens here is they kind of need to be hand watered in to get really good germination. So we'll hand water these with our dram wand about twice a day until they come up and get good and established. As you can see from this plot here, you can grow a ton of these greens on a little plot. So it's a really productive crop, a crop that can be cut multiple times. The date to maturity is about 21 days. So these over here that we just planted a few weeks ago are almost ready for their first cutting. These guys here should be ready just about time for the Sunbelt Expo. So come see us here in Moultrie at the Sunbelt Expo. October 17th through the 19th we'll be here, and we hope to see you here as well.